The Grand Assembly of Civilization. The Galactic Assembly had not seen silence like this in 4,000 years. 312 species sat inside the celestial forum of Orion Prime, a hollow moon carved into tiered galleries of crystal and dark stone, large enough to swallow a small planet. Ambassadors from the Vreth Collective floated in sealed liquid tanks. The insectoid Karani perched on elevated platforms, their compound eyes flickering with anxious light. The ancient Dornathi, who had witnessed the rise and fall of 11 civilizations, sat perfectly still, which, for them, was the loudest possible alarm. At the center podium stood High Chancellor Veus of the Lorendal Dominion, speaking in the measured, translated tones that the Assembly used for formal condemnations. Earth's military actions in the Vela Expanse, Veus declared, constitute an unprovoked assault on established galactic order. The Assembly therefore proposes the following resolution: that humanity be stripped of its seat, placed under collective guardianship, and its interstellar capabilities suspended for no fewer than 200 years. The galleries murmured. It was not a particularly cruel sentence, by galactic standards. 200 years was considered a polite correction. The human delegate rises. Ambassador James Hartwell did not stand up slowly, the way diplomats were trained to do, projecting gravity, patience, the illusion of composure. He stood up the way a man stands when something inside him has quietly decided it is finished pretending. He was broad-shouldered, gray at the temples, and wore the plain navy uniform of the United Earth Diplomatic Corps, no decorative rank markings, no ceremonial sash. He looked, to the assembled galaxy, deeply ordinary. That was the first thing that unsettled them. With respect to the Assembly, Hartwell said, his voice amplified and translated into 312 languages simultaneously, you have the facts exactly backwards. The Dornathi elder's breathing tube released a slow hiss. Hartwell continued. The Vela Expanse was not a sovereign zone when humanity arrived. It was a dead corridor, abandoned after the Kreth Wars, written off in your own succession accords of 3100 BCE. We built 17 stations there over 40 years. 40 years, during which not one of you sent a single communication, a single probe, or a single objection. He paused. Until we found the lithium, 7 deposits. Then suddenly, it was sacred territory. The evidence. He pressed a command on his wrist panel. Holographic documents exploded into the air above the assembly floor, treaties, survey maps, Lorendal internal correspondence, timestamps. The Karani ambassador's mandibles clicked in rapid, involuntary alarm. Several delegates began pulling up their own archives, cross-referencing in real time. I have here, Hartwell said, a communication from Chancellor Veus's own office, dated 11 months ago, classifying the Vela Expanse as, and I am quoting directly, an unclaimed buffer zone of no strategic relevance. He let that land. 11 months ago. The mining survey that changed your position was published 9 months ago. The silence in the forum was no longer ceremonial. It was the silence of 312 species doing math they did not like the answer to. The storm out. Hartwell straightened his jacket. Earth does not accept this resolution. Earth does not accept this Assembly's jurisdiction over territory it voluntarily abandoned before humans had invented written language. And Earth does not accept being lectured on galactic order by a body that just spent 40 minutes trying to steal our infrastructure with a procedural motion. He picked up his datapad. We will be filing a counterclaim under Article 7 of the Foundational Accords. We will also be requesting an independent audit of the Lorendal Dominion's territorial declarations for the past century. A brief, controlled pause. We expect you will find that interesting. He walked off the podium without waiting to be dismissed. Behind him, the entire 12-person human delegation rose in unison and followed him out, their footsteps echoing in the enormous chamber with a rhythm that sounded, to every species present, uncomfortably like a drumbeat. The great doors of the Celestial Forum sealed shut. High Chancellor Veus stood at the podium for a long moment, surrounded by the most powerful representatives in the known galaxy, all of whom were staring at documents they had just been handed and saying nothing. The Dornathi elder, who had witnessed the fall of 11 civilizations, finally exhaled. "Begin drafting the audit response," it said quietly to its aide. "And do not use the word abandoned anywhere in it."